Coquette is not too bad. This was released in 1929. It's directed by Sam Taylor and is written by John Gray, Alan McNeil, and Sam Taylor, based on the play by George Abbott and Anne Preston Bridgers. I've never read the play nor seen it, so I don't know how it compares, but if you have and have any thoughts, please feel free to share. And we have a cast including Mary Pickford, Johnny Mack Brown, Matt Moore, Johnson Polis, and various others. I wanted to watch this for Mary Pickford. I hadn't heard of it, I didn't know anything about it. I can now confirm that it's okay. Norma doesn't necessarily want to be with the man her father favours for her, but when she turns her attention to somebody else, another man, things might get dangerous, and I'll say no more. It was very slow. It took a very long time for me to start finding this interesting. The key plot points, for the most part, well, at least for the first half, are not that interesting, but the overarching narrative I do think was well executed. So the pacing could be better, but the way it developed, not the rate at which it developed, but the narrative itself developed in a way that felt believable for the characters. I was buying into what I was watching, and it certainly does become more engaging as the film goes on. The characters are well written, the performances are very good, and that definitely helps to make it a little bit more interesting when the narrative itself is taking a little bit of time to get anywhere. Really nice costumes. Some good music, good camera work, some good locations. I wouldn't watch it again, but I think as a one-time watch, I didn't mind Coquette. As I said, I only watched it for Mary Pickford, and I absolutely enjoyed her performance. Everybody gave a great performance, and I do think the film becomes a decent film, but there are some moments that are really great. Not enough for me to want to watch the film again, but certainly enough for me to say that if it sounds like your kind of film, I'm happy enough to recommend it. And also, it's just interesting to point out that Mary Pickford won Best Actress in a Leading Role for this film at the Academy Awards in 1930. I will check just now to see who she was up against, purely out of interest, but certainly that doesn't surprise me. Great performances, very well written characters. I just think the narrative maybe needed a little bit of work to be a bit more interesting. So according to IMDb, there are 2 listings for the 1930s. Were there 2 Oscars in the 1930? Yes, one was in April and one was in November, which I did not know about. But yes, Mary Pickford won that. She was up against Ruth Chatterton, Betty Compson, Jean Eagles, Corinne Griffith, and Bessie Love. I've seen the Broadway Melody. I don't think I've seen any of the other films that were nominated there. And just in case anybody's interested, the Best Picture winner for that year was actually the Broadway Melody. So a little tangent there, talking more about the Oscars than I am about Coquette, which I think probably sums up how much I find this film to be okay. Nothing amazing. Maybe worth watching once, but I doubt I'd ever watch it again.